If I say someone is doing, certainly there must be some pointer, there must be some parameters that I am using to say, oh yeah, there. And again, I will take you through certain thematic areas and certain expectations are buying a person way. Then I'll do some cautioning. You say, Anita, you can't budget and I'm not I'm not too good in a tree. Budget no means yes, and say, a buying issue po and an insusu your person in 2026. Any sika what they call ties to energy. And that's it. It's a constitutional imperative. Say,
yeah, they buffer me,
yeah.
Or minor conhumasika.
Of minor conhumasika, basically. Say if you come back on Homano, so we or minor dear, Nakia, Medifu. And if you no ban assassin, and only a minister, Neko MMD is in a war, Oko Joma Kubus, and you know the Sikashi share channel. That's basically what he's sought to do. Now, there are about 6-7 parameters I'm not picking. I'm a dream say, and nothing of finance with so far. And people should listen to my phrasing carefully. So far, the Americans say, oh, yeah, there. One, our total debt. And the debt to GDP.
The total debt, now you say, oh, my Ghana, you call my Ghana. Yes. Yes. And also debt to GDP. December 2024, now Ghana total debt is 726.7 billion, which was almost 62% of GDP. Exactly 61.8%, but 62. I'm just so that I can make the analysis easy for me. Currently, as we speak, our debt, is 726.7 billion, about 630.2 billion cedis, which is 45% of GDP. Debt to GDP to say, can say, value account ni generating their productivity, no. What's a worker with the free? Near Becano. So the percentage of your debt as against your revenue, basically. For example, na Ghana 100 Ghana cedis. GDP na gross domestic
product. Yes. Or debt to GDP is 62%. And I say, if you go 100 Ghana cedis, only 62 cedis ne ko tuyaka. Say Namiadom etnia be do 45 Ghana cedis. Now say why are there? Again, the explanation here is that as a January 6th, 2025. Now they cut $1,000 now we per Bank of Ghana rating and maybe now bet you 14,700 Ghana cedis. And then what is our Canana which 11,000 Ghana cedis. So you've done a saving of about 3,700 because you delayed in paying your debt till now. But someone also argued that the performance of the city is attributable to the measures Hawaii. But what I say? So do some of our debt is in dollar no. Because now 20 December, now dollar near around 14-15 into no. Now you see canon a car then be costro. The dollar now what they are for me because the city has appreciated against the dollar about 30% this year. It's a chance say your debt no so day e should be fine. But what I say? So that is also one measure against our debt to GDP from about 62% of debt to GDP to 45% is good. Then second measure amendation, AABB a friend international reserve. To some for savings account. On money a reserve will be a daho in foreign currencies in gold in ABB and MPP can according to the Bank of Ghana baby send 3 months. That is wrong. According to Bank of Ghana own statements, and my TV is Blair. No more corner, not Ghana. Your gross international reserve now $8.96 billion. Now about 4 months of import cover. So that is what they inherited. As we speak, so this is the documented evidence of it. 2024, say the country at the end of 2024 recorded $8.98 billion in gross international reserve, covering 4 months of import cover. So our gross international reserve is expected to money savings account be a daho. Now, import cover near it is a Ghana dollar bill. Yankoton gold, Yankoton cocoa near dollar bill was a care way between their crania, my boy and Hobra. So time now 4 months, and as international reserve you be mine. Anita, okay. Now, as we speak, this is the current status from 8.98 billion to 12 billion, and our import cover is now 5 to 6 months.
Okay, Eugene Ahano, tell me, the current mine photo some for 1 year, and against we.
It's the gold board. It's the gold board. My catcher said there's a document to be. My friend come a presentation. 2015, Park was saying Mr. Atako India. On India, Prime Minister Nebon Command. Oh, yeah, the Masagani to go this evening. Daddy. Oh, damn, Mr. Atako Kings. Mr. Ataka 1 CDA.
India Prime Minister said there be a book my top 4 Ghana cedis. It's a free be on that UNTCAD on the Bank of Ghana BOJ report with 2016. And one year you say between 2013 and 2016, Ghana lose in excess of 6 billion in gold returns. So say PMMC is the only company as yes are there. But you say na smuggling it's here be Ghana to me 3 major countries make Switzerland, UAE in India. Ghana to me say we are ton gold 1 billion. Ama India. Obeko India book money 5 billion. That is why the gold board came in. So it's more a certain bit of power to arrest people who are smuggling and all that. So the gold board has also brought our reserves. And again, gold for oil program, no. Gold nana Bamiam starting no more taught the gold reserves, you know. The Bank of Ghana has even admitted it. So it's not saying make manufacture. They've admitted that there was a gold buying process and on board so because government is a continuum. So then they couldn't have met a reserve, and this is not me saying this is a Bank of Ghana data of nearly 9 billion. On no buy any 10 months and or pedium and they are 12 billion. And a free 4 months of import cover chest or mine and $1 biakra my country never see a can in my boy and hobray or 4 months. You will see care down a bit with and I raise a bit with the big man.
Putu Prubiaba. Obia to Tunapu.
Yes.
You will see car was 90.
Yes.
You bet mine.
Yes.
You bet me the DD.
Yes.
Near pay anyone a crew as
yes. It's from 4 months, I could do 5 to 6 months. So again, second, this is a good thing. To my mom, GDP, my mom gross international reserve, my mom imports cover. Now let's go on. This is another thing I mean down. I don't know how to do it. Hey, if we beat the monetary policy in simple terms and a policy rate, the policy rate rather in simple terms interest rate. I buy away free soon. Yeah, sure there. Asset. You remember the January crowd. Monetary policy no. 27-28%. As we speak, 21%. What is the advantage? The advantage is koje besia. Say na near the besia na man interest and that. So koje 100 Ghana cedis. Now we are about 127 Ghana cedis, right? And ne abebu 21%. That is the interest. It will be to 121 Ghana cedis. At least 6% there then. Every so.
And yamfa we him say you say rate we no. Na Bank of Ghana na Central Bank no.
Yes.
They the commercial banks.
And the commercial banks.
Commercial banks ni nya wie.
Yes.
Now mo dey be individuals.
Yes.
Businessmen like
yes.
that. No mo so dey omo dey
kakaka. It's not brilliant. It's not a Bank of Ghana 27%. You get at the commercial bank roughly around 28-29%. It's an 21. You also get it around 22-23%. So it still tells you say sika sanya ya de besia mano apart from and it's a good measure.
Yes.
So I've given you about 4 parameters, meaning that the next kwaje besia kwa kwaye wadwuma and also about form. Because of time, let me skip. Omo buy, you know. On the 6th of January, they bet me aso in his excellency John Dramani Mahama no. Not dollar they become 17, meaning the obi source free. Ebi a time in the cost 17 the aba minimum. But when MPP was handing over officially the exchange rate at Bank of Ghana posted on Monday, January 6, 2025, no, now 14 Ghana cedis, 74 pesos to the dollar. Fact. We manufacture, we are not paying them on Facebook page, you go so down. As we speak, Bank of Ghana na and Saturday 15th, and we are rate on the ban, 10.96. And I'm just say about from simple thing, you say now quota be US. Now here $2,000 and I have 10,000 better. Now we have 14,700 Ghana cedis. And then I the krona okota we have 11,000 cedis. Alita, another papa.
Yes, it's good.
It's good. So on the currency too, it's good. If they say GDP, policy rate, which is also the interest rate, gross international reserve, import cover, and currency nankasa. Another thing I'm saying with the amount, inflation.
Yeah.
Because my catch say inflation is how fast or how slow the prices of goods and services are. Yeah. December 2024. There is no December 2024 and I can't use January for the MPP. I can only use December. Because Mahama free to December 26, inflation 15.6%. MPP free to no. Inflation 23.8%.
Yeah. That's an undisputed figure.
This is Ghana Statistical Service. This is from your inflation figures. So this is Ghana Statistical Service. Now, as we speak, this is our inflation. 8%. It's my amount 6 parameters. Debt to GDP of 62% about 4 45%. The gross international reserve now about 9 billion. I could do 12 billion. The import cover now 4 months. I could do 5 to 6 months, right? My man said interest rates now 27%. I do 21%. Dollar is what appreciated by almost 30%. It's inflation. Now you're saying now 23.8%, and I do single digits of 8%. The first time in about 4 years.
Okay.
So all these parameters tells you say the government has done something right. Now the last one, they want fuel. Once a fuel, there were 2 pricing windows. The first and the 16th. It's a better fuel money, a better so largely. Make a boy as a son. A boy I want to be 10th, 12th, but largely you 2 pricing windows for fuel, the 1st and the 16th of every month.
Yeah.
Osha, 2nd January, meaning that the first pricing window is January. And some MPP be free soon. Now go, say me 12 free, odium, mete, kokobin, into a menana meto go, then I should go and come into town. Now 14 cedis, 99%. I find it's 15 cedis, just to make the argument simple. Where your petrol is super, maybe super 15. And then, as we speak, 12.5. It's a liter in simple term, 40 liters. It is 40 liters. That's our time, no. So now you're saying 14.99, maybe. It is a 40 times 14.99. So that time I'm to fuel. Let me try 599 Ghana cedis. I'm answer 600 Ghana cedis. And then the same 40 liters, and I mean, say a car, no. Now say me to fuel. Meton is saying 12.5. Meton 500 Ghana cedis. I've saved 100 cedis.
And pay to add to near Okan, and pay me by me kotofu, I'm to 500 cedis. The same car my using for years. Now in previous year, 500 now, but we are gauging. But now pay me 500 meaning by so no crescent fee on a bono above from. And indeed, what tonswa a reflective or cardamom.
Yes. Inti Alita, in simple terms, you know, what I'm proving on Insure FM is that as we speak today, when you pick inflation, when you pick gross international reserve, when you pick fuel, when you pick the exchange rate, the indices are relatively better. These are facts. But let's go into the budget proper and do some analysis. Credit to Alfred, me, Madam for Federal, no, yeah, map, chat in your media, so I don't owe the intellectual property to it. Now your budget, no, your chance a bunch already about 600 and 100 a technical kaka, already about $268 billion. But in your year, bedi, I had 302 billion. I wanted to say BBO. In share and poor demand 2,000. By the what trust a month, nobody 2005. Problem be. Now, of the 268 billion, yes, you're being reason. You're the 90.8 billion, between your buying workers. Your friend the salaries and compensation. Yeah, capital expenditure, from the capital, and only a 57 billion. Under the 57 billion, you're the 30 billion, be ya coin. My bar coin so. Again, your friend will be interest payment. Now, let's see. If catch us, 2026 will be a tortuous year. The income catch us sound caution in here. We will exit the IMF in May 2026. Most of your debts in the year carry forward, and the maturity is 2026. So look at something. You can clearly see from the data. Last year, interest payments, you had 35 billion. This year, you had 57 billion. So almost 22 billion more.
At the end of course, sir, because a city now appreciated there. That's
why I say you carry forward. You renegotiated your debt already. Yes. And again, compensation last year, you are 89.7 billion. This year, you between 90.8 billion. Marginal increase of about 2 billion because the amount of base pay increment. But I have someone asked, what is the commiserating productivity as our 90 billion with the brain? So efficiency must be. We must also get that there.
And proper supervision.
So that is largely what the budget is. Meaning that they are buying the budget baby the best one here maybe so. Because also we raise 268 billion. My men trying to move in here. Also raise quickly. Also already 268 billion. But in also be 302 billion.
As already now, Bosia way.
If you're free, my young simple man.
Bosia waiting.
Ni be a check. What do you buy? Set 12 now, 4, meboa. Now, 9, 3. Into already, you know, your deficit about 34 billion. That we must finance. And for me, I believe, say, physical, I'm jumping. We are making how we can keep some of these things.
On this, answer now, are you anticipating, say, midway in the fiscal year? If your finance minister and for supplementary budget?
I believe so. I believe so. Unless he does something, and I'll come there shortly.
Okay.
Now, you know, the biggest highlight of this, I had a member to team here. Also, we creating 800,000 new jobs beginning 2026. Listen to me, freezing. All kind of budget, you know. I got the impression also 2020 we creating 800,000. Hey, now America class one yes, sir. But we in answer, we now call PM Express. At the chain, call City FM. I'm a pay OTV3 or you are UTV. And I like that push of the finance minister. No, Bernard Busans, we have budget 2 hours, as I call Joy 2 hours, and I'll say he has to defend his own budget. And I like that. Explanation mania so far on this, you know, in the 800,000 jobs. You know. And yet 1 year no did create jobs. You know. I buy target to say, oil palm, Usansana to force me the budget, or call Benso. This is the evidence. Or call Benz no could income or say now or person expect view on some of the matters. You could say oil palm ya dear Ghana and target here. So a binary target oil palms will be 100,000 hectares of oil palm. Who's a Malaysia? You see, say countries that produce oil palm the top 3 countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. When you go to Southern America, the leading country is Colombia. When it comes to Africa, the leading country is Nigeria. Now, the 100,000 hectares, you know, Oko Southeastern Asia, which is Indonesia, Malaysia, most nipa 3 and a year Jumawo 1 hectare. Palm oil needs to do 5 years and a DNA. So certainly the job cannot be created in 1 year. But on one moment, said because there will be heavy mechanization of these farms, you know, only use an average of 2.5 people per hectare. Into a Hanon Kwano estimate, this will be employing about 250,000. Aluta, is it clear? But me check here, you know, 1 hectare of land is equivalent to 2.5 acres. So meaning that they are trying to cultivate 240,000 acres of palm oil. I will tell you some personally, it is good. Ghana, you can't be for agrarian economy. When it comes to climate, we have what it takes to grow. A band sasia, you walk in Sasano. Recently, now I'm fit to a farm place. Several kilometers I was driving, and you see grass. Yeah. We have that climatological condition again. Obi a wati macho nse mi fra chimesum. Achimesum ye fe kwa bibrim. Ubi kwaya na afre nyinam ufri Accra be Kumasi. Adu nyinam abunza signboard so atro ni GOPDC. Aluta time e cocaine intino me nya time ka metro ni nyinam. You can Google. Yeah. GOPDC a Ghana Oil Palm Development Corporation. Omikrom kwai. Na me na nati ase no ye the board chairman of GOPDC, timinim GOPDC. Okay. Ya ben omoye. Me ma and if you ma go baby ya omo ya oil na etimi di ye stew ni bibia no. So I've seen some before. No ma me adwuma o, I've seen what they can do. It is possible. The only issue here and how the major analysis kakra is the commitment. When you do strategic management, they will tell you that if you want a policy to succeed, right, you need deliberateness. Esa wo sheda. Ghana be oko benso ase edua be yeye. Isi wiji edua be yeye. Ashanti wiji edua be yeye. Ti ade na ban so be die. It is possible. The only thing is that we must be committed. 100,000 hectares no by now be a week kura ye wie. Ejaso ye dia. And again, okay, be a manager your call PM Express no. Or say what you are going to do that say what you are interested at. You come with an equity of 30%. Assassin they free. It's a case be a will cultivate 10 hectares, which is equivalent to about 24 acres.
Assassin, which me I can say free, sir.
No, the government. So the government will acquire the land.
Okay.
Then the government will lease the land to the private investor. You share see a car in that period. Now all the 30% beba. Now buying it through Ghana Development Bank (GDB). I'm on 70% loan. The into account say so okoje loan or banker. Abedi 5 years and some they do the maturity. Interest very accrue. So they'll give you that soft loan 70% from the Ghana Development Bank. Then you bring 30%. And for me, I don't see how we can do this. Now me show Indonesia example. Indonesia directly and indirectly employs about 14 to 16.5 million people directly through the value chain and they contribute about 6% of their GDP.
Yeah, Ghana population, a very youthful population.
Exactly.
Is the Ghanaian Gen Z, properly so called, why ready to go into palm production?
The government can make them can make it attractive for them. You see, as a taste, mebaso. Need perfume rice no. You know perfume rice. And you man wa be a didn't you be am black chocolate. You be brown ni edi. Nti be ni yetimi ni black no. Ba brofo no obi black no. O nya na ni because na wa be. So that's why I always come back to deliberateness. Every single government policy o mo ba na ye o. Say you said o mo nya nkwasi afo.
Yes.
These are at first on the PhD.
Yes.
Dr. Ampim on a master's degree. These are experts. But you see, it's the deliberate. Because you see, these things, they are hard work. They are, and you see, the 5 years will predate Muhammad's regime. Or almost 1 year. So it is about that deliberateness. Say, ahana who se bebwaye, ahana yebo.
But me interested or happy because say Ghana ni adwuma. Ne tie pa na say dependency ratio esote.
Yes.
2 ete crimes.
Yes.
3 obi anso hoto no.
Yes.
My successive government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now no ya Ashanti region or Mampanyi be ye nkoko nkete policy. In the elsewhere administration, you are rearing for
food and jobs.
You are planting for food and jobs.
Yeah.
We buy some my Operation Feed Ghana. Are we not rehashing launching of policies?
Nabaho, it's a make say this policy will predate Mahama. The point I was driving to is that you need the buy-in of the opposition.
Okay.
It's a 5 year bet. I won't be meaning 3 years.
Yeah.
It's 5 years.
Okay, but you can't buy the obi onimi bia from Suyanim say you can't buy me father one me fool pa.
Yes. So 250 liberty free win. The next bit also they created 30,000 jobs. No, a true party on Baye. Dakar Kumasi Expressway.
Okay.
This is the video evidence of it. What is it basically? The current Accra Kumasi Highway, Merasha Mufenchamaluta time no dos. 250 kilometers averagely.
Yeah.
There are 4 bypasses. Ombo Guswaya 4 bypasses. No. But Omo created a new expressway and only a 197.9 kilometers, meaning that it reduces the current Accra Kumasi travel time by 50 kilometers. Meaning you can do Accra Kumasi roughly 2 hours, 2 hours 30 minutes. But it will be heavily towed.
Okay.
Yet say ubetua to kese e wo so sense no ubetua no tank and as a normal road no so. Say ubetua to 10 cd e wo expressway na be a normal road ubetua be a 2 cds. The example you can check and any time is the Mombasa Expressway and there's one in Uganda you can check it. About so feasibility studies, the financing will be done locally. They mobilize local financing to do it in 3 years. And Oko City, it's in one move me Facebook and put a question. That's the answer. Oko City FM Bernard Abdel no some in 3 years. Mahama will commission this road before he leaves. Now road on the normal Krekumasi with him. We know on the far eastern region out there so. Na kofa Saman Kese, na kofa Chimodan, na befa Alfonse. Kwaso Lake now connected to Kumasi. 197.9 kilometer video no and that Facebook no. It's 3 years and everything. What I was happy about and I say this year they will start from the 30 billion. The catch was a capital expenditure 57 billion this year.
This year,
yes.
2025.
Yes. No, 2026. The budget 2026. Yes. The catch was how much? 57 billion for capital expenditure. Out of that, and 30 billion is for road specifically. The most flagships of the big push project is this project, and therefore they will commit some amount from the 30 billion to start this project. According to the finance minister on city, it is for 3 years, and President Mahama will commission it before the most markets connectivity, interchange, it may be a Saman corridors and everything to create jobs. Also, estimated a project to incorporate create 30,000 jobs, direct and indirect. Filling stations, Bebaho, Obibo, all these jobs.
With all background in analysis.
Yeah.
Sustainability of jobs is key.
Yeah.
How sustainable are our jobs?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that indirect and direct job. It is incumbent on the finance minister and his team to come back and tell us. I don't know my view. Okay, it's fine. It is for the finance minister and his team to come back and tell us that of the 800,000 jobs, which of them will be direct, permanent, rotational, and all that. Because construction, big push, 30 billion means that the amount for the consumer, it be best for us. I mean, they are all jobs. Yeah. You see, my challenge is that planting for food and jobs. Meaning, senior Bekaya. And one of the people I said, and they could for them create any 1.2 million jobs, and you're not correct. Okay, I'm 32 figures around it. It's because they couldn't quantify the jobs. Yeah. So they need to do that quantification so that when it comes to a time we are scorekeeping them, we can do a proper scorekeeping job. For me, the one I was happy about is 4 bypasses to Sino and you know, now on my way. And you see, almost to me about because Kumasi is a haven for commerce. Again, Kumasi town importance all the landlord countries, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, track to be a free takrade and Temahabono, a mass pass through Kumasi. Intino Kumasi Accra Highway, your friend N6 highway, is a trans-African route and our route. Very important.
I love the first one, the route.
Yes, a very, very important route. Intino Nina there. A bed was saying we created 30,000 jobs. So far, the maintenance amount about 280,000 jobs out of the 800. It is for him and his team say in the coming days they will explain and strip the data down. Said then no more. Now, also baby a friend farm services and some of tractors, any idea man by some current TBD full combined harvesters, any animal number here. Again, Hana na luta woka. Mama Belantin kokonkete the program mama sorry. Yeah. What is it say? Yes, SBA emu mubedi. Any bibia this week we sorry be na me rahajin kotoku ni ado jeni na esai na gugufo na so mbesuma amobro na mama koto da bi FSHS social numbers na SHS student ayewo roughly almost 600,000 aya na two batches school na back fi averagely when man say 600 man so bia 220 ti 400,000 in school at a given time aluta temi we share for school fee na nkra na emom 1 hot meal a day na omya by a million basic school it's averagely your nkra a day bi o ma mi didi almost 1.4 million then I see a dua name toast e bro so it doesn't make sense it was say I could find my order in 2019 Google
I remember
like I come back to now what can about what the commitment
yes
it will say headmaster Ministry of Education buffer stock. We are committed. That is the word. We are deliberate to say. There's no way say I want to team yento. Yes, you come Vietnam. And you see, it all come back to the procurement economy we run.
So the 1 minute, as someone can say, it's about time is say you decentralize your money. Because what quarter say Sunyana West are me free.
Yeah.
Now call Domasi Omudo Brew or
yes.
The engineer say or Domasi Secondary School or Mokan say I was a brew free kind
Eba.
Okwa akomandan tomatoes na bia bedu kan na approve
yes
na yet where can say obi dey team tomatoes free China whatever
India or a financier your man procurement contract in the tomatoes na 1 you see aluta here when you are discussing the economy I had to be because our structure rigidity here you can do that analysis by common sense the economic paralysis we are in it's largely a common sense problem no just say they say you be to be bia every year. And you see, government is the goods and services 13 billion.
Yes.
Anita, in Japan committee even 70% of 30 billion, almost 13 billion, almost 10 billion. In Ghana economy, see a locally made. Only a share sanitary pad. And no probe. One of the questions I mean, you know, me a sanitary pad initiative. Now me come crass no. What the local materials as sanitary pad that means 1 year. I'm a US government afano. Yali they na ko US, they na ko Kenya to teach people.
The kind I tech for in those days.
On the plantain.
On the plantain yes, I did.
Anita, what fast I gave ya? Where Ghana ni? Profit will be near Biano, and Ghana. Give or carry one and carry a man. So you even lift the local community of Nkawie to a certain level. That is what we must do.
And increase money in circulation. Sika wo man no koso.
But men say one economics, one common sense. Again, Abansan say because of time, was about fast or gladness, aduane ebusu aye sene and the 200 million nkoto. Omun yan county scan no nkoto ne sa. Again, Abansan say, VAT. Now VAT 21.9%, Abansan what so about 20%. Good for business. First, now VAT unya 200,000 cedis say we declare VAT. Say we cancel no, or they cost 750,000. So that businesses will have a bit of space, expand and employ people. This is a good thing.
And we will have figure and so it is largely for germinating businesses.
Yes, germinating businesses. So it's good. Yes, multimedia they say man to cry ya broso. We and so and I'm a bit of issue. I'm out from team ye. You see, common sense if you are not. Let me give you a typical example. Metro for Ukrum constituency. Me 4 years with K University and I'm at roughly 37 years, so I know the constituency. Yeah, one. Okay, some maybe kind because say let's finish all the hospitals and water system name before we touch agenda 111 because they need dedicated source of fund. Can't say any acquire any be largely procurement benefit. Shabe. When say Kenya is teaching hospital no for Ukrum. So say Kenya hospital for Ukrum. Between KNUST hospital and Lord Kebu Dino, Eko maybe you could say just about 9-10 kilometers. And what Kebram, we saw Kebram. Yeah, they pay $15.4 million in the share Kokobindi and Kebran. And only a roughly 100 bed, we 800 bed. Aluta, commonsensically, where should we have channeled our energy? As a Kremampong, only district hospital. What is the proximity? Since we first into a one, my other Kremampong. They can even come to KNUST teaching hospital, which is a bigger facility. Ejeso can come to that facility. Kwaso, Praso, they are on the same stretch. Any acquire agenda 111. Abanso so by 6 regional hospitals. I'm not saying that the district hospital has the same strength like a regional hospital. I'm not saying that. I know very well there are differences. Cheap compound or clinic or district hospital, they are not the same. But Aluta, me dream say.
Which was even the promise of this government. So Oba continues those projects as
Ansania start. You go Aluta 6 new regional hospitals. You will be la. La Jimna, you can't come into the Mbuye, this in the Lafoni hospital. If you mean 600 million, now you do 6 regional hospitals. There's about 100 million. Because of say we allocated 49 million to upgrade 7 regional hospitals and provide enhanced material, blah blah blah, and we are committing 100 million to complete 10 agenda 1. Meaning say simple math, we divide it by there's a 10 million for 1 agenda 1 hospital, 100 million for 1 regional hospitals, and upgrade what 7 regional hospitals by 79 million. Aluta, can the 100 million you can meaning that you can complete about 70 agenda 111.
Yes.
Simple math, or say it to you. Government has allocated 600 million to construct 3 new regional hospitals, 3 new, so 200 million actually. And I will 100 million for 10. So 10 million per one. Why don't we add this? Yeah, see, we say we have region, maybe the original situation, maybe a Bakubia, here, Pajamuka Krama.
Yeah. One fact that we can also get from here is 100 million, a bit me completed 10 agenda 111. It means that previous government no so no your agenda 111 bi o ha omuduro manim kaka omuduro
kokobi go dey put for the twa Mr. sorry president put for the twa so 3 of them okwa west region baako ho asante region 2 kokobi o be twa so na the signature one no chede o be twa so we say chede na signature one so 3 it ni nyaya kayen 111 you region bi nima you be a wono facility bi a dia pagem kakra. For example,
can you lead the team to get a paper on this?
Oh, I can do it.
Yes.
I can do it.
So,
for example,
so we presented.
For example, in Kari area, we are for a military hospital, 500 bed. They don't need a regional hospital.
Yeah.
They don't need a regional hospital. Again, Ashanti region, you today, minimum maha. Severe also maybe na confirm not 500 bed. We say Severe supposed to be our Ashanti regional hospital, and then Yawa go no. It's equivalent is like Range Hospital. Also baby. MPP are there. Try kind of not Severe Junction there was an issue. Yi kind of Wisconsin or amom ko twa so ko Eurojet for nka say they are not handing over again Eurojet there we can learn lessons for the Kumasi no we say Eurojet then DBT design build and transfer we can do some of these financial models and again kidney no be abasia me dialysis na there heart tissues hypertension buy na say we commit to 2.3 billion for NCDs non-communicable diseases through the Mahama Care no again ade we so maka Aluta yes am betua almost $1 billion for nursing and teacher training allowances. Let me do some common sense maths here. Me catch it say oh I proved it here before 2016 GTech report. One of the things is that I don't do it in Windows. I'll give you my sources. If I pick this data, GTech, they announced the admission ratios of every tertiary institution. Mohammed Charles IDM 2015 enrollment increased. That tells you clearly, say people don't need motivation to go for teacher training or nursing training allowances, nursing training schools. There are 3 badges of nurses with a 2 badge certificate. So what do you have to motivate people to go to school and come and sit home? We are spending almost $1 billion. Let me give you an example. Many are looking at the school SHS. Benkum's near school in a class a cottage, back here university. Many more chairman, I buy some encourage student room, Mr. Tedman or a benchmark against me Senate. But the core nursing to a bank cottage, your money 500 Ghana city. Does it make sense? First, that's the first question. Think about it. Many women the core SHS. You know here for. You man no be. Many back here university. Many purpose. Some encourage student room. Till. The yeduma multimedia. Senate na meet you no. Near the atete kana medeno. Who do ko teacher training? Say am free money. Does it make sense? 2. 1 billion. And then the anchor say the 10% equal come budget of student loan specifically for nursing training allowances. Why will it be? Koje. Unzu here you do senate then atete. Yenfa 40% and complete hospitals in Mamu. Yenfa 50% and financial clearance. Now it will plow back. A simple economics. 50% in nature say your finance in eduma 1 utua senate taxes. 268 billion na by so generating senate revenue we kan. So nim say okay, nipa no otejuso. You don't have to take hospital.
I can't senate here from where I'm coming from. I said tier 2 so can.
Exactly. Otejuso and about K University Hospital. Obefa car, otua indirect taxes. Obedu K Hospital, no wato vena bottle water. Obetua taxes. Wato manene muni bi, otua indirect taxes. So this person
multiplying effect.
So this person is viable. Into what teacher ni nurse na utie 4 million na yende man kakran na oji ya ne wadi no. Ene se wonye adwuma daada wo ye sika ba wonsem de na ruteye. That is what you must look at, and that is why I come back to the concluding part of my statement. Say prudence in expenditure. Okay? This is our scorecard. They are called IMF 17 times. In our history, only 2 presidents pen and IMF. Kwame Nkrumah and IK Champon. Aluta the first time we acquired IMF, you overthrew Nkrumah 3 months before penny IMF, May 1960s is the first time we went there. So look at the history. Every single government in the 4th Republican dispensation has gone to IMF. MPPD anyhow. Into where 16, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 times, including 2020 acquired. 2021.
Yeah, the extensions cry, yeah, no count more than the 17. Yeah.
It tells you, say, 4 concluding remarks on the budget. Whatever the IMF brings when they come to our house, Nana the Papa, eh? 2017-2019, Kufuor recorded single digit inflation to the point of 7.1. Your growth was better. But Alita said Jiguye. Okay, baby, Jiguye. Can a frat do what you be seeing some? Now, I didn't tell you, you know, check out town white. Okay. Your 2 names, we can manage you can Jiguye. I am a bit free in May 2026. Ako Aluta, no one the buy ye beer yet in ya, dear your man, ye there. Mama Abbas 8 indices are Messia Munti at 4 say, let's do it. 2, Aluta, fiscal discipline.
Yes, fiscal discipline.
Samaji 100 CDs.
The way I see board, you just have fiscal because ye Cassica 170. So our fiscal FISCAL, yes,
but
not the PH one.
Yes. You see, the fiscal discipline you need. I look at 5 times multimedia.
The journey of Facebook, a picture now.
Yes.
What is the next come up?
Oh, me say you can get part in 1 month in economy starting news that here. Eh? I look at here. Me give 5 times multimedia. I can choose to order food.
Yeah.
Oh, delivery. Oh no, you multimedia. Ultra Quanima, Junction traffic light was 70, 80, 80. But at the age, I'm over 30. I need to ask myself, more baby da. More carry the Mikoba. See, from the Mamma BBS, if you are Biako. Are you that here? So you put all of that on the table, then you make prudent decision, prudent and answer decision.
Jinaya, we see a dream room.
Alita,
let this use and swap.
Atu Forcing can cut a lot of things and so use the 268 billion. No, just supplementary BR. Meeting where your frown and fasun is what you zoom. President Combo Yenteso Yempe STCB, Omo campaign on the bus, Nekomu, Yempo STCB, President Lady, number 1 gentleman and the vice on the convoy. Ministers will be entering Basim. Okay. No Mudi the chi. Omo back recommends Omo Fakwan Subi, no moon send yet here. And you see, the third bit for me, Aluta, is invest in productive sectors of the economy. Aluta, Yankoje Bessia. Go near bay. Makoje Bessia, oh, quite here. Minigi BP, a question Royal Saint Magic 5 star. Yes, I'm wrapping up. My name prompting. There be, but I made 5,000 and say, as I see the bed, Domina. Yes. No 30, me the 5 for so swat assassin. Aluta, they know me tons as a German crater and by next month, no. Yeah, they're not assassin cost through. So you invest in productive sectors of the economy, and that include 100,000 hectares now me can, you know. I bet for so also. The evidence abounds in Malaysia, in Indonesia. Let's be committed to it. To Sadia. And the fourth one, a chrono. I took force in so by the car, the money is 64. See, hey, but I'm 1 minute, and I mean, we producer. And I'll say, you catch it, or the engineer is kind of 64 year. I pass it through all the process. If you're a contractor, MMBC in a sign, regional minister sign, road minister sign, finance ministers are sign, I could Bank of Ghana is the sky you between. I'm not say there, the young Chinese chip. Auditor General, I approve 47 day and okay. I see it your way. 8 billion BDA. I could see him because he could then call that a bit my and a additional document. 10 billion there. Or say a fraud dream where Tom would disallow. Listen to me carefully. How did the 10 billion go through all the process to the Bank of Ghana? I will be to yes, scan. How did it happen?
Because at time NDC co-position in 2016, na new Patriotic Party take.
Mobile the same thing, yeah.
Nipa ba kwa me ne din komo pa Kusibuafo.
Yeah.
And I think he's in Kumasi.
Yeah.
Once obey CEO de ma
public
sector reforms. He told me on air, I will be at here, say, even contractors in it came to him. Say, Omusika, or Tetiso. Maybe that time our document say a binder than a 2 billion. Maybe I said, oh, Mama 1.5 and I'm 1 billion magic. The idea, you know, and as a area care the beer.
You see, Alita, the problem I have with Ghanaian leaders is that Okasana and one police at channel.
That's the problem.
How comes I bind 2 billion? I'm a who by as well, they are 1.5. What? Then I'm watching. I look at you. So, and yet on no buy no bear, what the turbines sign, you 10 billion. You know what 10 billion can do for this economy?
Maybe I development in our coin.
Ghana road in your traffic year no 30 billion. Yet the nearly 30% of them Kia chrono. You pay you behind 10 billion. Nipo sign document you be nipo approve you could do Bank of Ghana na say you connect attorney general frewom umu mechirim bra una sign document say de ne ka auditor general say yes bra uchirim say we anya ho a yem prosecute no. So this is my full solution. I'm not just criticism, I'm saying that fiscal discipline, invest in productive sectors of the economy, produce what you eat, consume what you eat, and prosecute financial crimes. The BBC.
Eugene, me da se anopai